Welcome to the journey of an awakening spirit, a sacred space where transformation begins. This podcast is your guide to rediscovering your true self, breaking free from old limitations, and embracing the power of your soul's calling. Here, you'll receive practical tools, soulful insights, and uplifting conversations that remind you you are never alone on this path. We'll open the lines and dive deep into the questions that matter most to you. Now, let's begin this powerful journey together with your host of The Journey of an Awakening Spirit, Kathleen Flanagan.
Have you ever looked in the mirror and thought, I don't even know who I am anymore? I know that feeling. I've lived it. On the outside, you're doing everything right. You're holding it together and for everyone else and showing up for work, for family, for responsibilities. But inside, it's like something's missing. There's this emptiness that no amount of achievement or distraction can touch. And maybe you've wondered, is this just how life is? I want you to know right now, no, this is not all there is. You're not broken and you're not lost beyond repair. You've simply forgotten who you are at the deepest truth. And today I want to walk with you back home to yourself. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Journey of an Awakening Spirit. This is Kathleen Flanagan, your host, and we are here for another segment today, and I'm super excited. So life has a way of pulling us away from our true selves. And I know I got lost in the grind of things for a while. We all do. I mean, there's a point that we're moving along and everything's going, and then somehow we just seem to lose our way and we just forget who we are at the time. And it's no big deal. Everything looks like everything's fine on the outside, but on the inside, you're struggling. You're still feeling empty. You feel like something's dying inside of you. You just don't want anybody to really feel like you don't have it together when you really don't. And the one thing that I think when I went through this is I wanted people to just keep thinking I had it all together. And I didn't have it all together. I was the Rock of Gibraltar. That's how I looked at myself. That's how people looked at me. And I could hold it. And I can tell you right now, I'm not forgetting who I am right now, but there's a lot of things that are changing and shifting. And, the tears started flowing again today because of changes that are going on, but they're good changes, feeling like sometimes you still feel like you're a failure when you're not, it's better. But you say it, you think that anyways, because it seems like nothing's working in your favor. And the truth is things are always working in our favor. It just may not be what we think is in our favor. And you just have to not feel what you're feeling with that, but don't take it down and go down a rabbit hole with it. Because I find that the less I go down a rabbit hole of I'm feeling this right now, and I feel it and I sit with it and then I move on, because I know that the truth is I'm in a holding pattern or it's just not time, but everything is conspiring in my favor, and it always does conspire in our favor, even if we don't think it does. So we can take on our roles as a daughter, a wife, a mother, a career woman, until we can't hear our own voice. And how many of us have been guilty of that? I know I was. I felt like I failed as a wife because I didn't know what a wife was, but I never felt like I measured up for my ex-husband very much a career woman. All of it. I'm not a mother, didn't do mother, did a wife, was a daughter. But trauma and loss and criticism also teach us to silence those parts of ourselves just to survive. And I know that because I didn't have a voice for the longest time. This is Marco. Marco left us on Saturday and came home today. And Felix left us today. So yeah, it's been a very challenging weekend. But as I was saying, trauma and loss, criticism. I've had all of that in my life, and I had to find my way through it, because when people tell you over and over the same thing, you start beginning to believe it. And it's not true, but we believe it because we don't believe that people that are supposed to be taking care of us or love us would say demeaning things like that, but they do it all the time. And part of it is about control and abuse of power and that type of thing. And it's just time that we just say no, because see, now we're adults and we get to choose what we think, how we feel, what we want to do with our lives. Nobody else gets to make that decision. If you want to stay in that place and be a victim, that's your choice to do, but it's not my choice. And I don't like that place of being victimized. So what do? We hustle for our worthiness, where we become people pleasers. We wear perfectionism like armor. Now, I used to be a perfectionist, and then one day I decided this is too much work. I'm not perfect. I'm never going to be perfect. So why even do it? So I gave up on it, and, shocked a lot of people. But boy, talk about feeling liberated when I decided I didn't have to be perfect anymore. And I can't tell you how many times I show up and I don't have it all together, but I do it. And I show up anyways, because I don't care. At least I'm doing something instead of being afraid of, oh, what if it doesn't look right? And what if they don't like me? I don't care. I'm showing up for me. It's not about what you think of me. It's about what I think of me. And I think when you start going back to what you think about yourself, it's a big game changer all the way around. So some of the signs that you've forgotten who you are show up quietly at first. It's a chronic dissatisfaction, it's exhaustion, a longing for something you can't quite name. But deep down, you know this isn't you living fully. And I feel that a lot right now too. There's a part of me that just feels like I'm wavering, like I don't know where I belong, and I'm just treading water at the moment. And that's okay. So here's a grounding exercise that I'm going to invite you to do. And this is what I do, and it really does help. So place your hand on your heart and whisper to yourself, I'm still here. Even if I've forgotten, my soul hasn't. Forgetting isn't failure. It's actually a sacred invitation for your soul to awaken. And there are times when that really is happening with us, that as much as I move forward and do the things that I want to do in my life, I still battle those moments at the same time of like, well, I think I'm just wasting time, or I'm doing this, or I should be doing something different. But then when that moment passes and then I see something unfold, then I realize, oh my God, I'm doing the right thing. I'm right where I'm supposed to be. It may not feel like it because we have our own impression of what we think we should be doing or where we should be, or we're comparing ourselves with others. And it's not about comparing ourselves. It's about, where are you on your journey? And trust that you're on the right place. And I'm doing that. I'm asking for a lot of help right now because I'm really struggling with various things in my life, and I'm still moving forward. I'm asking for help, and I'm trusting a process, and it's not like I'm not doing anything. I'm constantly taking whatever baby step that I can. And if I have to stop and wait, then I stop and wait. And it's okay to do that. And you have to give yourself permission. It's in the mundaneness that things happen. It's as you're creating and building that you're expanding yourself, but you don't know that. And yet, when I look at what I've done with my Awakening Spirit site or with my KMF site, I see how much I have done and added, and I still have so much more that I have ready to do. I just haven't sat down long enough to get it recorded, to finish it, but I'm going to. I mean, I'm in the middle of building a community right now. I've taken some training on it. I've got the name. I've got it all set up. Now I just have to go out there and set it up. And I'm ready to go and build that community and start something that scares me. I mean, this really scares me to build this community. And yet at the same time, I'm super excited about building a community, because then I'm going to be around the people that are like me, that we can talk and share the same types of things. And we forget that. I mean, we're living in an AI society right now, and there's no connection. There's no connection whatsoever. It's artificial intelligence. And we make connections and we grow and thrive when we make a heart-to-heart connection with somebody else. And I know, as scary as that is, do it anyways, because that's the only way to do it. So when we forget who we are, life has this way of waking us up to it. Sometimes it's softly, and sometimes it's like a storm. I know that I really thought this year was going to be a lot different than what it has been. And even though it started out like a soft thing, it also feels like I'm in a storm. And I know Mercury's retrograde, and this is the time you just sit and reflect and make plans of where you want to go. And I'm doing that. I'm really doing that. And I did my first show for Awakening Spirit last Friday that went super well in front of 4 million people. I mean, I'm sitting here going, how can I sit there and say the things I say when I've got like this amazing things are happening at the same time? So what do? I'm going to celebrate it. And I am celebrating it, because that's another thing we don't do, is we don't celebrate ourselves enough when we do have major wins. So our awakening a lot of times starts with disruption. And I think when my father passed away, that was a whole new level of, I wouldn't necessarily say disruption, but it was a whole new way of experiencing life and really taking off my armor. And maybe that's what this is all about, is that my armor is coming off and I feel it. And I don't know what this is, and it scares me, but I'm still doing it. And I know it's like a whole new level of feeling things that I'm not used to feeling. And there's a whole new level of vulnerability that I didn't even know was there for me either. So, so if you're having a breakdown, or there's loss, or an unexpected change shakes the identity that you built, then you just got to trust that this is part of that awakening process. Because, sometimes we do have a breakdown, or there is loss, and it doesn't matter what the loss is. And I know that I get these 555s, which is change. Hold on to your hat, because big changes are coming. And I think that the changes are starting to come for me. And I think they're going to be good changes, but it still have to break down whatever armor I may still have, or whatever I'm feeling is still there. And I got Marco, who's walking all over the desk. So there's also a deep yearning that rises up to something that's more authentic. And that's the one thing I've also noticed too, is that there's this whole new level of my beingness that comes out, that once I'm in, out of the shaky ground, so to speak, it's like the butterfly coming out of its cocoon. It has to use its wings to get the strength to be able to do it. And if you help it, it will die, because it will not have the strength. And you got to look at that too. When we're feeling all these different emotions, it's just the butterfly. You're in the middle of a transformation, and I'm watching butterflies fly right by my face all the time. So I know that I'm in the middle of a transformation. And then it's just give yourself more grace. And that's what I'm doing, is giving myself more grace. And then you'll also start noticing the whispers from spirit. There's synchronicities, there's nudges, there's just an inner knowing. And I've been saying things for the last couple of months, I think, of just for Felix alone, I think, was he just wants to be left alone. He seems to be the target of everybody, that everybody's beating on this poor cat. And he got very angry, and he left me today because he wasn't happy anymore. And I believe in my cats being happy. Doesn't feel good on my side, and I think, and he will. I mean, he's a lover. I mean, he's a lover cat, and everybody will love him. Everybody always loves Felix. He's such a cool cat. And I was blessed. And this is how I look at it, as I was blessed to have him in my life for as long as I did. And I intended to have him live his whole life with me, but he had other plans, and I had to honor that and respect it. So even though it doesn't feel good, I know it's a good thing for him, because the way he left, he was okay. And I know he's okay, and he will be okay. And we're selfish, okay? We're selfish people, especially when it comes to our pets. But, awakening can feel disorienting at first, but it's not a punishment. It's a realignment. And it's your soul saying, come home to me. So I'm thinking with Felix leaving, there's something bigger for me. There's something different for me. I don't know what that is, but I trust it because, it's like this is a cat that I've had for 9 years. And he's been one of the greatest joys of my life. And obviously something bigger is coming in, and maybe he can't deal with it. I mean, he didn't know how to deal with me with my father's death. I mean, that there's just a lot of things, and you have to trust that these are messages. And I don't know what that full message is yet, but I will. And I trust that I will. And I will see the blessing in this when I get on the other side. So I want to do a quick little guided meditation. So I'm going to invite you to close your eyes. And I want you to go ahead and take in a deep breath in through your nose and exhale through your mouth. Again, inhale and exhale. This is the part of you that's never been lost. It's never been broken, and it's been patiently waiting for you to remember. Ask it now. What do you want me to know about who I really am? And just listen for the whisper, a feeling, or even a single word. Whatever came through, even if it was just a feeling, trust that it was your soul speaking to you. I also want to let you know that I have this Heal Emotionally Now CD that's part of the Archangel Ariel and I work together to create. And this will take you into the deepest part of your truth. And we're going into this a little bit more. And I also received one of the most amazing testimonials from someone who bought this CD. And I just want you to know that this is a very private, it's very deep, it's very personal. And you might think it's somebody else's. That's wrong, but it really turns out that it's you and what they give to you when you talk to them. And it doesn't matter if the person's dead or alive, they will talk to you. And I know that I'm going to be doing this meditation fairly soon with my father so I can continue to move through what's going on, because I can feel that with all the stuff that's happening right now, that there's an underlying current of a new wave of grief coming in that I don't even know if I can handle. And when it comes to the grief of my father, it's just mind-blowing me that I have as much as I do. But I also know that with my father, I'm never going to see him again. I mean, this is a final goodbye. This is my own personal final reckoning. Same thing with my mother, that it took me years, and I had to use the Heal Emotionally Now to just find forgiveness with my mother. After 5 years, I was still as angry as I was at the time she died. And I don't feel that anymore with her. And I know that I want to feel that with my father. And, I'm probably going to do it with a few other people in my life, because we almost seem like we're at a standstill. And I know we're not, but I think we're both struggling. When you're both struggling and you can't find the words and you don't know how to say what you need to say, this meditation does wonders for you to get clarity. And when you're in the process of waking up, all the clarity you can get is very, very helpful. So awakening isn't the end of the journey. It's the beginning of living from the truth of who you are. And that's why I recommend this meditation, is because that's what it does. It helps you to remember who you are. You're wrapped in the angel's wings. You're taken off the planet, so to speak, in a very safe place where it's a neutral environment, and you get to just share your higher self with their higher self. Get to share what's really going on. And even if you're feeling whatever you're feeling, the truth comes out in it. And it's loving. It's a very loving experience. And when you come back, it's like your heart is open, you feel good. And that's what you want to feel. And that's part of the gentleness, is just feeling the stillness. Spend a few minutes each day in silence, in meditation or prayer, or simply just breathing to hear your own soul's voice. And I do this every single morning. I get up and I just listen. And my house since Saturday has been very quiet because I've been asking to have peace brought back in my home, because it's been, with these cats, it's been so challenging. And even though Marco's back in the house, it's still peaceful because I was determined to bring peace back. And it's not peace about the house, it's about peace with me. You want to establish those boundaries and say no to what isn't aligned. And every no to what drains you is a yes to your true self. And I've had to do that. I had to come to terms that there are certain things that I cannot tolerate anymore. And I put my foot down. And the cool thing is that Sal is standing behind me doing the same thing. Is like, he doesn't want to be in the frustration or the angst of what he doesn't want to be on the receiving end of what I'm feeling. He doesn't want any of that any more than I do. And so I have to find where's my boundary, and where, if it's being violated, then I need to know what that is as well. And we're making some pretty tough decisions right now of trying to get peace back brought into our life, and for us to reconnect, because we're both in turmoil together. And when a couple's in turmoil together, that is very challenging to keep working through. And we are doing that with ourselves. And then, surround yourself with the people in the communities who see your soul and just not your mask. And I'm doing that too. I mean, I've got a group of people that I care about, that I can reach out to and ask for help, just to listen, if it's nothing more than to listen. Because sometimes we just got to get it out of our head, because when it's going and recycling in our head, it gets harder and harder all the time to start seeing the truth. But if you can bounce it off out of your head to somebody else, and they don't have to answer you, they don't have to fix you, they don't have to do anything. All you want them to do is listen, because most women, we find our own answers once we get all the garbage out of our head. Because your old stories and labels no longer have to define you. You get to rewrite your story now. And that's what I'm in the middle of doing, is rewriting my story. I've been rewriting my story, but I'm going deeper. And I can have moments of pure, like, oh my God, this is so wonderful, this is exciting. And then stuff comes up and it's like, oh my God, I can't do this right now. This is making me crazy. It's all okay. It's where are you comfortable? Because you want to stay in your happy place. And that's what I'm doing, is I'm finding my happy place. And when we released Marco on Sunday, we went to a retirement party and met a couple of new people that are in the neighborhood. And so we made some new friends, which was really exciting. And I got to get out of that funk that I was in about just feeling angry and depressed that Marco was gone, and angry at the cats and so on and so forth. And it just felt good because I didn't carry that with me. It's like I left it at the door. I was going to go out and have a good time, wish the woman who was retiring all the best, got to chat with her, meet new people. And that's what you do. That's how you reinvent yourself, is you leave a lot of the garbage at home. Sorry, that's Marco. So here's an integration exercise. So I'm going to invite you to take out a journal tonight and ask, if I live from the truth of who I am, what would I change? And I would encourage you to write without censoring. Just let the pen flow. And the cool thing about writing, and I know a lot of people would rather use a computer, and that's okay too, but when you actually write, there's a message that's from your head that goes into your hand, and there's you get channeling information. And I can't tell you how many times I've told people that, and they're like, thank you for doing that, because it's like you start vomiting stuff when you're writing because your head is doing it. And yes, it's a slow disconnect from your head to your hand. But you know what? It doesn't matter, because what needs to come out comes out that way. So I would recommend just do that. Allow yourself to write. And I used to say writing is very hard and challenging, and it is. But what I found lately, it's not. It's like I just relax into it. I'm speaking from a place that I need to speak from. I'm asking for information, or I'm getting downloaded information. And it's like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And even if I'm not getting it all, I'm getting what I need. And I'm starting to trust that process. And I really do enjoy writing more and more all the time. And what I'm finding is I'm pretty impressed with myself, because I always thought I could write, but I never had enough confidence in my ability to write. But I don't feel that anymore. I feel like I'm really good at what I'm doing. And this money meditation that I created a couple of weeks ago, I think that's kicking my butt too, because I'm doing stuff that's going even deeper. I'm not on the surface of anything right now. I'm going deeper and deeper and deeper of how far can I go? And, sometimes it's really painful when you go that deep, but it's the best thing you can do is go deeper, because that's when you discover so much more about you and who you are and what lights you up. And I know that I've been getting some really cool meditations like the one I did last week. I'm going to record that and I'm going to put that up in the community, and it's going to be a freebie meditation. Why not? I thought it was kind of cool and it was fun. And I love doing stuff like that. I'm just going to have the music and I'm going to do all that stuff that goes with it. And why not? Because I think there's a lot of things. I mean, yes, you should be paid because we bring value to the world, but I also like giving a lot of value too, because I don't think anybody should be suffering either. Okay, Marco, say hello. Yeah, this is Marco. So you are loved, you are guided, and you are more than enough. Your soul has never left you. It's been patiently waiting for this moment of remembrance. May you walk forward today with this truth. I am not my wounds. I am the light that rises from them. In the show notes, I'm going to have the alignment guide, the light activation guide, I should say, and that's free to you. I also do have that 3-minute de-stress meditation that's on the KathleenMFlanagan.com site that you are more than welcome to download and get for free. That, I mean, if nothing else, it's going to make you feel relaxed, because there's something about the sound that just relaxes. And this is the music of the spheres. And so you're getting back into harmony with you, and it just releases a lot of stuff. So you don't have to look at it. You don't have to face it. You don't have to do any of that stuff. It just allows it to release automatically. So I invite you to do that. And I'm also getting ready to, I'm finalizing my soul journey course. So that's going to go very deep, a lot deeper. This is nothing surface. This is not for the faint of heart on some of the products that I have. Some of the products are very easy to take and do. And I have a lot of things that I've studied over the years that I'm going to be bringing out as well. So that's why I want to have this community, because there's so much that I have and I want to share it with the people who want it. And I think if I have that community, I'm going to find better luck finding my people doing this. And for any of you that if you want to have a 15-minute free consultation, you are more than welcome to go to the KathleenMFlanagan.com site and sign up for it. I tested it the other day because I see a lot of people come out, they come, but they won't sign up. And feel free. I'm not going to bite, I promise you. I just want you to feel some peace for a few minutes. If that's all it takes, is just a few minutes of feeling at peace, or just to be heard so you can feel like you can keep moving. That's who I am. That's what I do. And I give this freely because I don't believe anyone should suffer. If I have my cats that aren't happy, I want them to be happy, and I will give them up to be happy. You don't deserve to suffer. And if I can give you a moments of peace and happiness, then that's what I'm willing to do. And it's not a sacrifice. It's a joy for me to do that for you. So don't let this moment fade away. Take one step today to anchor back into your soul's truth. And that's how transformation begins. So I want to thank all of you for being here today. If you like the show, feel free to like and subscribe to the show. Otherwise, I will see you all next week, Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And from my heart to yours, I hope you have a fabulous week.
You've been listening to The Journey of an Awakening Spirit with your host, Kathleen Flanagan. Join us each week as Kathleen invites those who are ready to awaken, heal, and rise to live their highest vision, anchored in love, joy, and truth. Tuesdays, 4 p.m. Eastern. Shh.